Do I think that the Ford Mustang could be successful in a four-door version? I do believe that it could be successful. Will it take some market share away from the Charger? All right, Lou. Biggest Mustang guy right here. What do you think of Ford coming out with a four-door Mustang?
I'm not gonna buy one.
All right, guys, so we are going to talk about Ford potentially putting 2 more doors onto the Mustang. And this is extremely interesting as a Charger owner, because really we don't have any direct competitors. And so Ford kind of doing this would put the Mustang in that category. So what's the speculation? Because there's a ton of speculation, a ton of opinions on, Ford potentially going down this route. They would be taking a 5.0, putting twin turbos on it, and coupling it with the 10-speed, and basically the ballpark dollar-wise would be in the $50,000 to $60,000 range. And so, a naturally aspirated 5.0 is about 460 horsepower. You put twin turbos on there, you're probably looking at about 650 horsepower, which would make it a direct competitor to the Charger Hellcat. And I believe that if they're going to go down that route, they'll probably end up doing a naturally aspirated 5.0 and make it a direct competitor to the 392 Charger. And so why is this good? Why is it? Well, first off, it's good for Ford, okay? Because if you really think about it, they've been trying to get into the performance sedan for quite some time. And I think the brand recognition that the Mustang brings is going to help them in that area. Why is it bad for Ford? Well, because tradition says that a Mustang is supposed to be a lightweight 2-door coupe with rear-wheel drive with plenty of horsepower from a V8. That is what the Mustang is. And so once you start, expanding out, it breaks tradition. And a lot of people that are hardcore into Mustangs aren't particularly happy about that. That being said, you can't stop progression, okay? Life is just what it is. Tons and tons of people were outraged that the Charger came back as a sedan. So, I find this extremely interesting, and now the Ford fan base is weighing in on what they think of their Mustang being a 4-door option. So, now, why does this affect the Charger? Well, for the most part, the Charger doesn't really have any direct competitors. And I think this is something that's going to be really good for the Charger, because I think Dodge has kind of put the Charger into the back seat. If you noticed in the last year and a half, 2 years, the Challenger seems to be the one that continuously gets the upgrades, and rightfully so. There are direct competitors to the Challenger. When there is someone on the market for a V8 rear-wheel drive coupe, they're looking between the Challenger, the Mustang, and the Camaro. And so Dodge has to continuously upgrade and advance the Challenger so that it beats out the competition. When someone is looking into a performance-minded V8 performance sedan, really it's either the Charger or you go import, okay? The other direct competitors are no longer around. The Chevy SS was really the big one. Then you had the Ford SHO, but the Ford SHO wasn't really that big of a competitor. It never really took off, even though it's a very fast car. I get poo-pooed on every time that I bring up the SHO, but I love the car, but it really was not successful, okay? And it really wasn't successful at being a competitor to the other, performance sedans. So I think with the Mustang entering the category, I think Dodge is going to say, okay, now we have to push the Charger ahead to make sure that people are choosing the Charger over now this performance sedan that Ford is now producing. So it's going to be interesting, and I'll tell you, listening to some of the Ford channels weighing in on, the Mustang potentially going into, this territory is hysterical. you know, their opinions are very traditional. Okay, I haven't come across too many people that are in support of Ford going down this route. But at the same time, you know, you have to remember that Ford is trying to be successful from a financial standpoint. Same with Dodge, same with Chevy. They have to come up with something to sell these cars so that we can continue having V8s, okay, on the market. And if the numbers do not back up, you know, sales to support V8s, then they all go away. So do I think that the Ford Mustang could be successful in a four-door version? I do believe that it could be successful. Will it take some market share away from the Charger? I do believe that it will, if Dodge doesn't advance the Charger, okay? I think that based on the marketing that Ford does, I think that if they do go after, you know, the Porsches and the Lexuses and, you know, the Audis and everything, I do think that they could take market share away from them. But in the end, I do think that if Ford goes down this route, it's going to be Charger versus Mustang Sedan. And I think that this is something that's going to be good. It's going to advance both of them. I am interested to see how this all kind of shakes out. It seems like Ford has a lot of things in the rumor mill. Doesn't seem like many of them are really making its way into production though, which is, you know, it's kind of sad. You know, like I report on a lot of Dodge stuff, and for the most part, the majority of it has come true. Okay. Everything that I've reported, you could check back years, you know, a year and a half, and you'll see that for the most part, I've been reporting back things, and maybe they were named wrong, but eventually it came true. You know, the Hellcat Red Eye, the 426 coming out as a crate engine, you know, so on. It's coming out. I mean, a year and a half ago, I did the GT 500. Nothing has come out yet of it. So, you know, I'm kind of hoping that this is nothing. I hope that this is more than just a rumor, you know, and we'll see how it plays out. You know, this is definitely interesting, and you know, we'll see how it plays out, blah, blah, blah. So guys, you know what? If you haven't hit that subscribe button, definitely do it. Hit the like button. Drop a comment if you want to weigh in on this discussion. And yeah, all right, guys, have a good one. What do you call it?
Nobody's buying them.
Nobody's buying a Ford SHO. That's the thing.
Or a Ford Taurus.
Or that's what a Taurus is.
The Fusion was doing great, but it's not anymore.
So, but do you think a four-door Mustang is going to help with sales?
No, I doubt it. If people are not buying sedans, you think they want a four-door Mustang? It may not be relevant. How's that new Porsche doing, the Pan America with the four-door Porsche?
I don't know. I don't know the sales.
I'm like, when I first saw that.
Well, that's what the competitor would be. They would be making the Mustang a competitor of the Porsche.
Well, maybe on another planet, but not on this one.
So you think it's gonna be a competitor of the Charger, right?
I would say that's more appropriate. Yeah.
All right.
Closer than a Porsche. I mean, unless you want to compare it to something that probably costs 4 times as much.
So, but what do you think of the people that have Mustangs, then they start a family and they can't have a 2-door? You don't think that they're going to want a sedan? You don't think that they would want that Mustang performance, but then when they... No?
Keep the Mustang, go buy
Right,
a freaking SUV.
That's what I would say would be more likely, is they'll keep the Mustang as their toy or not their daily driver, and then get something practical.
All right.
But I suppose